Hey everybody, it's Amanda. We are going to give you a beautiful winter scene. It is no longer going to be fall. It's winter time. Things are definitely changing in our world, and we definitely want to share that with you guys. As we drive to the city, you can see that there is a lot of nature between here and there. So, as we're driving, I want to let you guys know that these changes are definitely going to impact a lot of things in our future, especially since we have relied on some sources for so long. So, I hope you stick with us with this video, and that way you guys know exactly what's going on in future videos to come.
And action.
He keeps making jokes all day. It's kind of his thing.
I'm hilarious. What can I say?
Anyway, so we were making tooth fairy jokes in here earlier. So we are at a food bank. We are going to 2 food banks today because we're not going to have the ability to come back to these food banks before the end of the month. One thing that we found out recently is we don't know if we're getting our food stamps for December.
Which is, it is what it is. So we're just gonna, have to do what we can to,
So,
eat.
yeah, we don't have a lot of money to spend on food right now, so that's why we're at the food bank. We went to one earlier, but there was a lot of pretty much only bread items. We'll show you guys the whole big haul here in a little bit. This food bank usually gives the best stuff. We drove to the city because our food bank is lacking in a lot of items.
Yeah, they told us to come here.
Yeah, they told us to come here because of the fact that, they got pretty cleaned out during the holiday season. So they're
which is a good thing. Like they're
usually they don't.
Yeah.
Usually they don't. And they have to do a big giveaway twice a month.
Yeah, and if they don't give away the food, then they get less funding. And then they get less food, and so if they get people to take the food, then that's amazing, and so we're excited.
So there is one
because
giveaway at the end of the month that we're gonna go to for that one, but we're gonna let them revamp. So they sent us here to the city to go to the 2 that were open today. However, these are probably the only food banks we're gonna go to in a while because we're gonna be busy.
We don't like taking more than we need, mainly because for several reasons. One, a lot of the food is close to the expiration date, and if we can't eat it before then it's just gonna go to waste. So we would feel pretty bad about taking food just to throw it away when it could have been going to somebody who would eat it. So
not only that, but we are very specific on what we take. So he's gluten free, so anything that has flour in it, I have to want to eat it, or the kids have to want to eat it in order for us to be able to take it, because otherwise it's just a waste. And then we just end up throwing it away, or it's in the freezer for 6 months, and we don't want that. We do freeze a lot of things, and we do a lot of home cooking. Actually, all of our meals are home cooked at this point, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. We don't eat out. We don't dine out. We don't do any fast food stuff just because of his food allergies and the fact that it could be cross-contaminated. So we just try to eat at home. So that's why you guys see a lot of home-cooked meals. Also being on food stamps, can't really buy any hot food with that. So we probably met the threshold for what do they call it?
I do not know.
Income requirements. We probably met that threshold. According to what I made in this last month with the holiday season, we made $37 and some change over the amount to get EBT food stamps. So,
which is a good thing.
It's good because we're paying our bills.
Yeah, I was saying it's the bills paid, but you know, now we don't, but we like $30 some odd isn't gonna feed us.
We can't eat that. So. we can't eat on that all month long. So that's why we're here. We're just kind of doing what we can with what we've got because it's all we have to work with. And this is a food bank I haven't been to in a really, really long time. Like,
yeah,
I think probably years.
No, we came here with your friend one time.
Oh yes, yeah. One time, so and that was like a year ago.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, so haven't been here for a while. I know that they have some non-food items as well. They have like a bunch of tables sitting out, so we'll see what we get.
Yep. And as you can see, I am sitting back so I can fit in. So now I'm the little husband.
He's the little husband and I'm the big wife. No, stop it.
There we go.
Oh, now I'm the little wife again.
Yeah, now my head's giant again, like normal.
Alright guys, we'll see you in the next clip. Alright you guys, so some of this we shopped for, some of it was just given to us. Not every food bank does shopping, so we are going to make our way back home, and I'll see you guys when I do the unloading, and I'll talk about some future things that are going to definitely be changing. Alright you guys, so this is food bank number 1. I did not actually get to shop for most of this stuff. The only things that I got to pick out were the veggies, and I asked for some non-gluten items for my husband. However, they were very limited this time around because it is the first of the month. So, and it is very chilly out here, so I had to put on another jacket. It's actually starting to trickle down some snow. So, we have 2 things of garlic bread. I probably won't use both because the only ones that are going to eat this are myself and the kiddos. I do co-parent. Somebody asked me what co-parenting is. It's where you have to share custody with your children. Not everybody's baby daddy is going to be a deadbeat. I'm lucky. I have 2 baby daddies, and they're both pretty honestly, they're on it. I can't complain about them at all. My youngest son's dad just got laid off, so I'm probably going to give him one of these as well as some of the other items here, because I don't think he has the ability to go to the food bank like I did. So we also got some sparrow bread. These I'm going to use for sandwiches because they're kind of like hoagies. And then this is sliced bread. This we thought was gluten-free, but it's not. It says high gluten. But I'm gonna use this for sandwiches for work as well. So both of these will be frozen. And then these I will use for breakfast. These are English muffins. They are hearty, you guys. If you can see how thick they are. They are kind of like homemade bread. Another bread I got was this. I have no idea what it is. This ended up in my box. It's kind of hard, but if you have hard bread, put a little water on it, put it into the oven on a very, very low temp, and it will bring it back to life. So the veggies I picked out are these cute little onions, because we use a lot of onions. We make a lot of homemade dishes, specifically a lot of tacos. I picked out some potatoes. These are just golden potatoes. They need to be washed up. They're pretty dirty. And then I got some little apples. Some of them are beat up, so I will put the beat up ones in oatmeal, and then the ones that are super fresh, my kiddos will eat. We got another thing of pumpkin, which Jordan asked me to get some pumpkin because he did like the gluten-free pumpkin pie, and I'm going to make some other pumpkin dishes. We also got some diced tomatoes because I was running low. I make chili once a week, so that way it's an easy, ready-to-go food. I also got 2 things of refried beans. I asked them not to give me any dried pinto beans because I buy them in bulk at Winco Foods for about $13. The only ones I ask for are non-pinto beans, but these will be easy. Jordan is not the biggest bean cooker of the house. That would be me. I know that was bad grammar, but that'll give him something easy he can open, dump, add some veggies and cheese to this. We got some dried cranberries, which I will put in cookies. We got peanut butter. I am the peanut butter eater of the house. I love peanut butter. I love it. I don't eat that much. Honestly, I really don't. I do tend to not eat for a long period of time, and if I'm really super hungry, I will put some peanut butter on a slice of bread or a tortilla or something and eat that. I've never used this before. I've seen it before, but I've never grabbed it. This would not be an item that I would normally grab, but this is good to have on hand. All you do is add water. It makes 1 cup of it makes a quart, so that's great. And then we did get a little 6-pack of eggs. And then I also got a half gallon of milk. This is from Kroger Fred Meyer. This is good until the 21st, so that's great. We also got another juice, which Jordan drank all the juice last time, which is fine. My kids don't love grape juice, but they only usually have grape or orange juice in the same container by Laggers as well. I did get some pastas just because I know that either if we don't eat them, I can give them to my kid's dad, especially this one. I did get some cat food, and I will show you who I give this cat food to. Our male cat has urinary issues, so both of my indoor cats don't usually get this food, but if you know, you know. It's for a special somebody in my family. He's my outdoor family currently. But that is the first food bank haul. I'm so cold. I don't have any room to do this inside my house. My house is very small. I live in a single wide, and it's old. It's 1966, so it doesn't have a lot of space. So I'm gonna get on to putting this inside, and I will show you the second haul. This one I did get to pick out, and there's a few Christmas items in here as well. Alrighty, so let's try to make this one quick since I am frigid cold. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about a Christmas item. Hold on. Right, I got the Christmas item back up here. If I have multiple cans of something, I will let you know. And I'm hoping that this truly inspires somebody who needs food, who may be, you know, shopping at the Dollar Tree, buying as little as possible, trying to stretch every meal that you go to the food bank, food pantry near you. Even if you think it's just a bunch of processed food, a lot of times there's still something you can do with that food, especially if you are in need. So let's start with the Christmas items. So I guess somebody donated a bunch of Christmas decorations. I was offered a stocking, so I took this one. I thought that this one's cute. I might put Jordan's name or my oldest son's name on the top of this one with some glitter glue, because I tend to do that. We're gonna let this truck pass us. I have to do this outside because I just don't have the room. And once I get inside, I put it all away, right? So there's that. I also have these cute little Christmas cards. I believe that they might all be the same. Yep, it looks like they're all the same. These are cute little dinosaurs, which I thought would be great to give to all the kids that I consider my family, and put maybe a little something in there like stickers or something small. So that's what I'm gonna do with those. I did get a bunch of these muffins. I don't know why they gave me 2 of these, but they did, so I'm gonna share them. But they are blueberry muffins. They are from Costco, and they are beautiful. They have the strudel on top. So I'm gonna move these aside. I already ate one. Can you tell? I'm dropping things. Yeah, see, that's why I need to get a better handle on this. I'll be back. All right, my hands are free. So another thing you can do with the pastries is you can individually freeze them if you wanted to, and just pull them out as you need them for either a snack or for breakfast. We'll go over the canned food first. I did get 1 can of black beans. This was a non-item I shopped for, meaning I did not shop for these canned items. Traditional good grown tomato paste, I got 2 of these. I also got 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Like I said, we go through a lot of that. And then this item here, I will probably keep around for the kiddos. And then I got 4 cans of green beans. And then we also got some tomato sauce. And we got some more pumpkin, which is great. I got 2 of those. And then I did get a can of tuna. It was either tuna or canned chicken. And I do have a lot of canned chicken left on my shelf, I believe. If not, it might be tuna, and that's okay. We tend to go through a lot of tuna fish just because it's easy, grab and go, ready to eat. You know, open it up, pour and drain out the juice, and then add some mayo and seasonings and things that you want, and it's a meal. These were a non-shopped for item, meaning that I did not pick these out. These were just given to us. So there's a fudge brownie one, there's a chocolate chip one, and a pumpkin muffin. These are all muffins. Those will be gone. They're going to be gone by the second that, you know, the kids walk in the door. That's how that always goes. I did get some potatoes. These were shopped by me because the more potatoes we have, the better, because Jordan, yet again, is limited on what he can eat. And when you are a 31, almost 32-year-old man, and you are used to eating things like bread, and other wheat products that you don't even realize were wheat products, you're going to be eating a lot of potatoes, okay? Another thing I picked was celery, because I can use this in soups. I can also eat it with peanut butter. We got a big thing of peanut butter. I did get, and this is very abnormal, I got a whole thing of butter. When I saw this, I about cried, because I haven't been using real butter in such a long time. I've been using margarine. I usually get the Impala one, or whatever it's called, whatever's the cheapest. I think it's $1.09 at Winco Foods, or $1.49 now. It used to be $1.09. So I am grateful for this butter, beyond blessed. I did get some oranges, got some more onions, because we go through a lot of onions. This is for me. This is chopped kale. Nobody else likes kale but me. This is gluten-free turkey. You have to be careful with lunch meats, because some lunch meats do have seasoning and breading on the outside to make it golden. So this is great because this is pre-sliced. I'm gonna unthaw this, and we are going to use it on sandwiches. Another thing I got that I think that, I don't know, maybe the boys will like it. I don't know. I might give them to, you know, someone else who would like spicy, but this was non-shopped. The meats, some of the meats were non-shopped. This was a picked item. They have little bins that you can pick items from, and that was definitely one of mine. I also picked this ground beef. I'm not sure what the percentage of fat is on that one. I try to get like 7%, 10%, something like that. I also picked from the grab and go stuff, which is these super greens by Organic Girl. These last a really long time, especially if you get greens from the food bank. Wash them, put a paper towel on top, you know, make sure that they stay moist and they will stay fresh. This was a non-shopped item. This came from the pre-made foods. I said no bread if possible. So this is for Jordan. He's going to eat that. I did get more milk. If you have kids or if you are a coffee drinker and you like milk, you know your milk is going to go fast. So with this milk and the other milk, I have a whole gallon, and then this will go on my pantry shelf, which I buy these on a regular anyway. These come from the Dollar Tree. Here is a cottage cheese. They had a ton of these cottage cheese. They tried to give me multiple of these, but I was like, no, I'm not the biggest fan of small curd. I like the large curd, but they wanted to give me at least one, so I did. And if I don't use it for fruit or something like that, I will whip it up and make it into like a cheesecake filling, which is super easy. And you can, I think it's keto. Let me know in the comments below, have you ever made cottage cheese cheesecake filling that's keto? I used to do keto and I can't afford to do it anymore. But I also got some half and half. This is going to be used for coffee. They did have options for coffee, you guys, but I did not grab it. I didn't grab it because there's only one left, and there was a sweet old woman behind me, older woman. I would say probably late 70s, early 80s, and she was excited to see the little Folgers single coffee thing. So even though there was one left, I was like, nope, let her have it. She was behind me. So that was nice to see that she got something she wanted. I buy my coffee in bulk at Winco Foods, and I think their coffee is only like $4.99 or $5.99 a pound. So that's how I buy my coffee. I did get these 0 net carb tortillas. I love these. I love this with this. 2 peas in a pod right there. That's what I used to live off of when I worked at the pizza place because I didn't have time to eat. I also got a pulled pork macaroni and cheese bowl. That will get eaten by my youngest child. This will also get eaten by my youngest child because he's not as picky. My oldest kid, he's a picky kid. So it is what it is. We also got this roasted bell pepper and tomato soup. You have to be careful with soup sometimes. See, like this says contains milk. It does not contain wheat. So Jordan can eat this. We got some everything bread. We also got 2 of these Thomas Kemper split buttermilk English muffins. I will freeze these and use them for breakfast because I eat a lot of breakfast sandwiches. Usually it's just bread, egg, and cheese, or if I don't have any cheese, I'll just do egg and bread. And then I also got this Thomas Kemper cinnamon swirl bread. This we'll use for French toast on Sunday when everybody's here. And then we also got some oil, some cooking oil. We got some more black beans. We got some rice. My hands are freezing, sorry. We got some flour. I was not going to keep that flour. I was going to try to pawn it off on somebody who wanted it, but some people said that they just kind of got it in their box, and so I think it was just a staple item that they try to put in there. I'm going to use this flour as I shake the camera because I'm so cold. I'll use the flour to make pizza dough for myself and bread, homemade bread rolls, and I'll just do it separately from the gluten-free stuff. And then we also have sugar, which we needed. We use it a lot for tea. And then we did get a whole box of these. They're the toasted cheese and peanut butter, and they gave us 2 extra as a snack. And then we also got some plain bagels, which I'm gonna make some toasted bagels. And I also have, sorry, my neighbor is backing up behind me. I'm also going to put cream cheese on these because I do have cream cheese in my freezer. I have some hot dog buns, some hamburger buns, and some eggs, and that's it. I'm done freezing, so I'm gonna go in. This should last us a good 2.5 weeks, especially with the holidays coming. And we'll probably go again once more. I can go back to this particular food bank on the 29th. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Tom has come to visit again today. He visits us usually twice a day. He is such a sweet boy. He deserves to get fixed and come inside. I gave him some of this cat food that you guys saw in my haul. And he's so very sweet. Come here. Come here. See, he has to get used to you first. But he is a good boy. He comes and purrs all the time. It's going to cost us $200 to get him fixed before we can even think about bringing him inside because he does spray. Don't worry, guys. We feed him very well. He gets pretty much as much food as the other kitties do. A lot of his cat food I get from the food bank. There's other kitties out here. There we go. I had to crouch down, I'm sorry. But these guys you have to watch because they will steal his food. And they get fed by 2 different neighbors. So, and he does not. He gets fed by us. Alright guys, so I'm back inside. I was freezing. My hands are still warming up. I have decided to drop a very, very big change in my life and in our lives because I haven't really talked about it yet, but I quit budgeting on camera about a month ago. And as a matter of fact, we can go back to November and you'll see that there really wasn't much budgeting going on. And I was using these budget by paycheck sheets. But I've gotten the okay because I don't want to be taking a million trips to the bank to pull out money and then bring money back to the bank. I got the okay to possibly do a monthly overview of our whole budget, and we can do a recap of how that went, because I know a lot of you guys missed the budgeting part of this channel, and I don't want to take that away from the channel, but the biggest change, and something I haven't really shown on camera as much, is my budgeting with my expenses, meaning like my wallet. If you are new to cash budgeting, it would be whatever you have in your wallet to spend, like groceries, fuel, gig work, money. This would be just starter money for the week, and I would explain how I would do that, and how I take gas out every single day from my earned income to put back into fuel. So this would just be starter money. So if I started on a Monday, my Tuesday gas will come from whatever I made on Monday, because this is just starter money. Pet supplies, household supplies, spending, laundromat, because I don't have a washer and dryer. I do have a hookup, but I do not have the money to buy a washer and dryer right now, with the possibility, and I said possibility because it's not a for sure, would be that we would have a washer and dryer after the possible bathroom remodel, because we do have the hookups to do so. If you saw that video, so you saw my washer hookup. And then I've been just playing around with numbers. These are not for sure. None of the numbers on here are for sure. Another thing I want to do weekly is work with my sinking funds, as well as a little bit of savings challenges if I have the money to do so. And I would show you guys how I work all this out. But honestly, I think that part of the reason I quit budgeting on camera was because of all the flack I was getting and the bad, nasty comments. And to be honest with you, you guys can say all you want about somebody's budget, but you can't actually change the fact that that is actually a bill that they owe. Do you get what I'm saying? So the biggest factor of what's going to be changing is that because I am going to be starting my job and because I'm actually making enough money to possibly pay all of my bills in the month, that means that I have to start budgeting a little bit more strictly with my money because I have some changes coming into my life, meaning that I'm going to have to start paying for groceries. Another thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to really start thinking about my future in 2025 because I don't really want to live in this tiny town forever. Our plan is to fix this house up, live in it as long as we possibly can stand to live in it, meaning stand as far as like jobs, job market, the economy, all the things are going to weigh into this. It's not going to be, sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. It's not going to be the biggest factor in 2025, but I want to start looking into the possibility of being able to move. How much would it cost us? How soon could we do it? What would be the game plan? How would we map it all out? But it could be a couple years down the line. But if I'm on a low income, like I am now, by then, I need to start thinking about these things for my future and my family now. I don't want to live in a desolate area that does not have any job opportunities. I'm 35 years old. I've done a plenty of crappy jobs, and it's time for me to get a get out plan so that way I don't have to be stuck here. My husband doesn't have to be stuck here. My kids do not have to necessarily be stuck here. That way I can bring a little bit more of an opportunity for someone who is an opportunist. I am a jack of all trades. I am willing to learn. I'm willing to do a lot of things. However, we've also looked into the apprenticeship programs in our area for plumbing for my husband, and he would have to take a class to start the process, and then he'd have to go to a company that works with the college, so it is legit, and then they would try to hire him on as an apprentice. However, I don't know how much that class would cost, but it is something he is definitely going to be looking into. It is a slow process. The gal did state that she would contact us back around probably the end of December after Christmas, so that way we could get an idea of costs, because I do want to make that happen for him if we can, because he does not want to be a couch potato. He doesn't want to be sitting here. He wants to work, and he wants to do something where he can use it as a trade and continue on to build with that, if that makes sense. So that's something that we're looking into, really highly looking into. The only thing I think that would keep him from doing it would be the cost, especially since the classes are during a time where I'm not going to be at work. So that's a plus. However, because I need to be very, very frugal with the money that I have, and I only have so much to work with, right? It's like this much. I need to get back into the game. I need to be budgeting my weekly expenses. I also need to make sure that I'm utilizing all of the resources I can while they're available to me. So that's kind of what we're doing. That's the big changes. So you guys might see this weekly start either in December or in January. I'm thinking more or less January, because I'm not sure, like I said, if we're going to get food stamps for December, because we made probably a little bit too much. I'm not sure what that looks like, but that would be what we're looking at. And I'm kind of working with these numbers the best I can. Grocery money would be really low each week because I don't have $100 to spend on groceries each week, even if I took out the sinking funds. I'm still playing around with these numbers. This is too high for my sinking funds each week. I don't know if that's doable. However, $212 for this, that is doable. I have to sit down and I have to make an appropriate budget that works for me. So if you feel like giving me advice in the comments saying that this looks like a mess and I need to just remember, this is me playing around with numbers. This is not a full-on budget bi-weekly based off of my needs for every single week. Another thing I wanted to mention is when you are gluten-free or you have a food allergy, you have to budget something for your weekly groceries, even if you are going to the food bank, because as you can see, there is not a lot on that list that I showed you, or in those clips that I showed you, that he can eat. Another thing is that we have there was hardly any meat in there. I serve meat with every single meal except for 2 times a week where we do something vegetarian or we do breakfast for dinner, something like that, because not only does it cut down on the meat that we use, but because we are meat eaters, it is something that I have to budget in for. So even if I'm only getting a pound of ground beef or 2 pounds of chicken, or I'm going to get a discounted family size thing of steak, which I'm not gonna lie to you, steak is very expensive. It's too expensive in my opinion. For what you get, I'm not gonna spend $30 on steaks. No way. No way, no way. So I'm playing around with these numbers. I'm gonna print more of these out. Both the monthly budget and the budget by paycheck. This one's old. This one is one that I was also playing around with. So that's just kind of, what's been going on. If you heard a yelp, don't worry, I jumped too. That was our little dog, Sophie. She hides underneath the couch and then comes out of the woodworks. And she gets scared and runs back underneath there. So, as always, I try to be as real and as transparent with my journey as possible. I'm also here to show you, if you are on a low income, you can do it too. But do what you can with what you got, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.